Good afternoon. I thought I would jump on a live Facebook feed. I wanted to start connecting with you gorgeous guys every Monday. It was meant to be Monday morning, but then I got in a meeting and ended up being pushed back until the afternoon. I think it's just gone 1 o'clock, so I hope you've had a lovely lunch, had a bit of a chance to have a break. And every Monday I wanted to come on live to give you some inspiration to really set your week in the most powerful, positive way I can. And one of the first things that I wanted to speak to you about was giving yourself Reiki. So every morning, if it's a little practice that I do. I start my morning with a cup of tea and a chat with my husband. I sit in bed with a cup of tea, and there's something really beautiful about taking time to really be present with the tea. So I've found that, my husband, he's an acts of service, that's his love language. So he will bring in a cup of tea to wake me up in the morning, which is really nice. And we open the blinds of our bedroom, and we're lucky enough to be living right opposite the most beautiful parkland. And I use it as a tool. I blend it with Reiki, and I use it as a beautiful connection tool to start my day in a positive way. And I must admit, I've gone through times, especially recently. I feel like I've been really shaken up over the last few months, and I noticed that my mindset started to sink, and I was waking up kind of stressed, and it's usually these times in life when we probably need to implement these practices that help us, like exercise, like running energy on yourself, like connecting to your intuition. But it's almost like the ego has a hold on us, and we don't realize that we're in the ego for a start, or we don't realize that the mind is running the show. And it is these simple, getting back into the simple spiritual tools that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Hi Vicky, so nice to see you here. Vicky she's actually next door. So she's come online to check the sound. Last time I actually ran a video, we had no sound, so hopefully you guys can hear me. And if you've got any questions, if there's anything at all you would like to ask me, take this opportunity to jump on the live feed with me. So the plan is that on 12 o'clock every Monday, I'm going to jump on a live feed and make myself available for you guys to ask me any questions. And I'm going to set a bit of a theme just to keep you inspired and to connect with you guys. So back to my process. So a cup of tea. I'll sit there, and I like to get into a place of gratitude and appreciation. And it doesn't take much for me if I'm, if I am a bit stressed, just to look out the window and watch the sunrise and see the way just the way the sun hits all the trees and the light. And it really is hard to be. When nature provides such beauty. Hi Brenda, nice to see you here. Nature provides such beauty, and it doesn't take long to just put your hands on your heart and connect and really bring yourself out of the state of the mind. And Brenda, I don't know if you feel a bit like this, or Vicky, when you just find that in the morning you wake up and the mind starts, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got so much on my plate, got to get, especially this morning, getting kids off to school. It's more important to have a practice that really slows you down and sets that framework for the day. So what I do is I get aware, this is what spiritual awakening is. It's the awareness. It's the awareness that we are not our thoughts, that there is this broader part of our spiritual being that is here, that is guiding us and connecting us. You sure do. Excellent. And I bet have you noticed a difference, Brenda, when you don't go with the mindfulness processes and the Reiki and run energy on yourself, that you just find it doesn't set your day up to be as smooth? And I know I've certainly found that in my experience. I go through phases, I guess, where I'm more active with my spiritual practice, and other times when I just get a bit lazy, and I think that's a human condition, or I tell myself I'm too busy to do it, which is just one of those mind traps. Beautiful Lee, hello, lovely to see you on here, sweetheart. Getting memories of our time at Starlight, how wonderful. So it's so simple. As a clinical hypnotherapist, one of the first things, especially if clients I've worked with have, are in an anxious state or suffering from anxiety, what we need to do is bring our awareness back to this present moment. And it really is as simple as taking 3 really long, deep breaths. I always bring Reiki into my practice. So I will run energy, which allows me to start away, to straight away focus on my body. So when I'm bringing my awareness to the energy, to the feeling of Reiki pouring out of my hands, I connect to the part of my body that my hands are on. And then I breathe. So when I focus on breathing, my mind is, am I breathing? What can I feel? I can feel the heat and the Reiki and that familiar feeling of love. It just settles, and it's like it just wraps this blanket of pure, unconditional love around me. And in that moment, it seems so easy for me to slip into appreciation, because then I'll look out the window and I will have brought my awareness to the body, to my breath, and to the present moment. That's when I usually pick up my cup of tea, and I might then transfer my hands around the tea, and then I'll start to think thoughts that are more in alignment with appreciation, and isn't it nice to have a cup of tea brought in every morning, and my little dog might run around and do something funny, and I'm just really aware. She's usually jumping up trying to get on the bed with me. I've got a little Maltese Shih Tzu, so she's usually, at this point in my morning trying to get my attention. Brenda, I'm just reading your message. I've had some big energy shifts over the last week or so, so yes, been trying to take the time. I'm just trying to read this too. Run energy and ground again. Yeah, grounding and alignment, it's so important. And it's so easy to do, right? That's the beauty of Reiki. I love that it's a simple tool to be able to bring us back into awareness. I was listening to Eckhart Tolle. There's a great podcast that he's just put out at the moment. One of my friends recommended it to me. And one of the things he was saying to do, which I thought is so fantastic, I have to share with you guys. He said, put your hands up like this, and do it with me now if you're watching. And start to think of this as your left hand as being the past and your right hand as being the future. Now, this is where the mind goes. We're either in the past or in the future. We're worrying about where we're going, or even getting inspired about where we're going and what's happening. We're still not in the present moment. The mind is running the show. To me, the awareness is when we stretch out these parameters and we start to get back into the present moment. And there is amazing synchronicities that come into place that blow my mind when you start to put out there invitations to the universe about what you want, and you start I've got a recent example that I'll share with you where a friend of mine always says to me, surrender, your will, not mine. And it is this, when you break into an awareness, when you understand you're not your thoughts, you're not the thinking mind, you are more than that, you are unlimited consciousness. And to me, that when I'm in the flow of that pure state, I feel like I'm in the channeled state. So that to me is when I'm channeling. It's when my mind and all resistance has surrendered, and I'm in a state of pure flow in the moment. And to me, it happens the most easiest when I'm either giving guidance to a client of mine or doing a one-on-one Reiki session, or if I'm standing in front of a group of beautiful souls and I'm teaching Reiki. Then it's when they ask a question that I just find the inspiration flow. And to me, that's what I have termed, and others have termed, a channeled state. So it's when we are channeling it in flow, ideas and inspiration and wisdom, that is timeless, comes out of my mouth. And I usually stand there with my client and just go, wow, that's so cool. Because as a conscious channel, I get to participate with that essence of the broader part of who I am. I hope I'm not losing you guys, but those of you that have learnt Reiki, you'll be understanding what I'm talking about, or those that have been in my classes, I'm sure you've seen it happen. and the feeling is why I continue to do it. Hi Michelle, lovely to see you here. The feeling of channeling and being in that intuitive space to me is exhilarating. There is no feeling quite like it. And I must admit, every morning I get into this sacred practice and I ask to surrender so that I can, be used as a guide and a vessel for this infinite intelligence to operate through me in the best way possible. And like I was saying before, there's, we can have plans with the mind, and the mind's important. As is the ego. I think it's important that we surrender to the greater power and the influence, but also have plans and make decisions around what it is you want to achieve in life. And just recently I met up with a friend, one of my, she's a beautiful lady, Kim, who owns Standing Strong, which is a fantastic organisation that empowers children. And it was a late Christmas lunch with my beautiful staff members, and we happened to go down to the Balmoral, which is around the corner, for lunch. And I bumped into Kim. Now, I trained Kim in Reiki probably 3 years ago. And so we've had a bit of contact over the years on Facebook and things. So we knew of each other, and I think we were kind of watching each other's growth and progress. And there was always this beautiful connection and support. And she said to me, I met with her this morning over a coffee, and just really to beautiful business owners that have a big vision and a big mission. Mine is to mainstream intuitive Reiki, and hers is to empower women and to teach them to get in connection with their strength. And it's just amazing the work she's doing. And she said to me, your name kept coming up to me for the last week. She said every time I'd think Lisa, Lisa, Lisa. And then she said, and I just didn't get around to ringing you, but it was, in the back of my mind. And then here we are. We just bumped into each other at the pub and then made a plan to get together. And there's things that are happening that are really exciting in just, for her, she's an answer to the support I was seeking, in terms of just having another business owner that I can relate to. And I think this is what's really important I've found in this work. It's about community. It's about finding friendships and people that are intuitive, that are just like you, that you can come together and share all these cool learnings with. And that's what I seek to and have created with Intuitive Reiki, is this beautiful tribe of heart-centered people that they get to come back, and in our space, in our workshops and in our rooms and in membership group, intuition is completely normal. There's nothing woo-woo or weird about it. In fact, we go the other way, where we think it's weird that you're not intuitive, and we think it's a bit strange that you don't understand, what it's like to have a mind, in balance, and to have started to tap into that feeling of freedom. And the blessings that come with that. So I think it's wonderful times that, the world really does need an awakening, a spiritual awakening. And I know lots of light workers out there are really being called to action and called to be of service, and get out there and put your beautiful Reiki hands on other people and just connect. Get off the Facebook, and it's a great medium. I'm here now connecting with you guys. So it's a fantastic medium, but I really do think we just need to get in connection, put our hands on each other and really just be there to hold space, to support people, and to allow for a healing, transformation to take place. So that's what we're doing. What's coming up with Intuitive Reiki? I have a Reiki 1 workshop which is coming up this weekend. If you have been thinking about learning Reiki and you're sitting on the fence, there is still a couple of places left. You will have to book in today or tomorrow, because I have just put an order through for the workbooks. Vicky, could you bring a workbook in here, hun? I'll just show you what the workbooks look like, because I'm super proud of what you guys get. She's running around now grabbing it. The workbooks have been are beautiful, and thank you, sweetheart. So here it is. So this is the Reiki 1 workbook that you get. So inside there is heaps of information, great information. We do lots of activities where you get to write down the kinds of changes and shifts that are happening during the 2-day workshop. You get to take really great notes. We go through hand positions and everything you need to know to connect to this beautiful, life-changing, whoops, just about lost my camera, life-changing energy healing modality called Intuitive Reiki. So it is coming up this weekend. I have other courses coming up during the year, so you can also pre-book into those if you want. And I have an Accelerate Your Intuition workshop, which is really a foundation course to teach you all, if you've already learnt Reiki or you're more interested in the psychic spiritual side of life, then we dive into psychic mediumship and what that is, what is the difference between psychic energy, how to work with spirit energy, source energy and psychic energy. We look at things like, I'm just off the top of my head, psychometry and how to do readings for each other, angel card readings, which I just absolutely love the inspiration from working with angel cards. And I think that's what I might do the topic on next, how to do an angel card reading next week. So if you're interested in finding out more about how to use angel cards and do a reading, tune in and I'll do a live on it next Monday. So I think that's it for now. I'll put the links to the workshops in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this this little video, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon in one of the live rooms. And for now, namaste, have a beautiful week, and I will see you soon. Bye.